What is up, guys? Media Master Menard here today, bringing you guys another video, and today we're talking about what exactly makes League of Legends so toxic. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately because I've really started to grind the game a lot lately, and I'm not any pro or anything like that. I'm still low elo. I'm one level away from getting ranked unlocked, so I'm not a pro by any means, but something I have noticed is just how volatile this community is and how many hateful words get flung around in the chat, and they all chat. I mean, there's some crazy stuff, guys, but let's kind of get into the reason why this happens and kind of analyze it further. The game you're seeing right now on your screen, I'm playing as Malphite. I think he's a really good champion. His kit is really nice. He's got a lot of survivability, so you can afford to make a mistake here or there. Actually, funny story, before this game I was being super toxic. I was being mean to my teammates, and I felt bad, and it's kind of what led me to want to make this video. I mean, I think everyone at some point in their league career has gotten toxic and angry at their teammates or the enemy or somebody. So I mean, I was able to turn it around in this game. I think I ended up with a pretty good KDA, 1 death, and I think about 9 kills and a handful of assists. So it was a fun game on my end, this one was, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But let's further analyze what makes us as human beings so toxic. So problem number 1 with League of Legends is the complete lack of tutorial systems in the game. I mean, I came from Paragon, which sadly got shut down, RIP, but I came from Paragon where I had probably 20 days of playing time on that game, so I really did understand kind of the minute details of MOBAs and kind of the strategy behind them and how to play. And I just see so many people who don't know how to play the game in League of Legends, and including myself, there was many times where I'm looking at the item shop and I'm like, how does this work, kind of? And the tutorials in the game do not explain it at all. And so what this does is breeds an unknowledgeable player base who doesn't really know what's going on with the game, and so they kind of play bad. And by play bad, I mean they don't even know how the concept of turrets or the Nexus works, and they literally just walk into towers and get destroyed. And it's just so frustrating having a person like that on your team, but we'll get to that later. And there's also the problem of, with no tutorial system, how is anybody going to know where all these champions go? Yes, they can tell you what role the champions play, but when you first come into the game, there's like over 100 champions in front of you. You're like, oh man, this person looks cool. What does their kit do? Where do they go? And you have no idea where they go. And so it's something that it really does create an environment of people who do not know what they're doing at all. And I'm not saying I know everything, but at least I kind of know what I'm doing. There's a lot of people who cannot say the same. And so the second cause of toxicity is really related to the first one quite a bit, and that's just kind of the nature of MOBAs in general. They are such a team-based game. I mean, the way farming works and gold works and the way kind of you progress throughout the game means if somebody is feeding, your whole team is screwed, essentially, because one guy on the other team is going to be able to solo your entire team because he's so fed. And it's something that it makes the game great, that it's such a team game, but it also hurts the game in some aspects. This means that basically every game you need kind of everybody on your team on point. If it's a 4v5, you essentially have 0 chance of winning, and I've done that before with 4v5, but we got ahead, but it's not possible really at a high level of the game, and everybody knows that. And what makes this problem even amplified is that people can AFK and just leave your team to dry. Obviously, there's intentional feeding and sabotage. I mean, there's just so many things that can go wrong in a game of League of Legends that have nothing to do with yourself. And what also kind of amplifies this even further is the fact that there's no voice chat in regular games. Yes, you can have voice chat if you party up beforehand, but if you're just going into a random matchmaking game, you're not going to get any teammates who can talk to you, and they have to type out everything they say, which makes them less efficient in playing the game. And with so many vital things to communicate, you can't without a voice. And so that's kind of something I wish they would add. I'm not holding my breath, however. But this isn't just a low-level problem, guys. This type of stuff happens with people on my team that are extremely high-ranked or have a lot of playtime in the game. I mean, they can just go in there and feed or AFK. I mean, it happens to everybody, and getting bad teammates game after game after game gets so frustrating after a while, because it's so much easier to put the blame on a teammate who could be causing you to lose than to look at yourself and what you did wrong that game and kind of decide what you could have done better to fix the game. So it leads to this culture of people just putting the blame on another person because they don't want to look at themselves and see what they did wrong, because realistically it is very possible that your teammates are costing you the game, but what could you have done better to fix the game yourself? That's something that not a lot of people think about when playing League of Legends. It's unfortunate that this kind of toxicity and volatility has led to this game getting somewhat of a bad reputation, but it is an earned reputation, and it's something that's kind of like a paradox, because the problem can't really be fixed, because once toxicity starts, then other people are toxic, and it just snowballs into something bigger and bigger, and it's almost like you have to be toxic at times, it feels like, to fit in with this community, to like fend for yourself, to fight for yourself. I mean, you have to be toxic sometimes. I mean, that's kind of the way the human brain works. When you're being attacked, you attack back. A dog-eat-dog world. It's just crazy how this type of kind of environment or culture has started, I guess. Another thing that I think makes League kind of unfun at times is that any champion, if they get fed, just feels overpowered, and that kind of leads to more toxicity. But even further so, I think they have a lot of champions in this game that are just not conducive to fun. I mean, look at people like Heimerdinger or Teemo or Blitzcrank. I mean, the way you have to play against these champions is just not fun, and they're so oppressive. A champion like Morgana, even though I'm like a Morgana main, I understand she is broken as hell. It's just not conducive to fun, like I said. And I feel like there are just way more champs that are that way than there should be in a game. And I know there's a lot of them in the game, and sometimes it is I just need to get good, and there are a lot of people on the other team that are better than me, but it just is not an ideal experience a lot of the times. And on top of that, the burst damage meta in this game is just ridiculous. It is so infuriating when you just get hit by one stun and then you are stuck there for 4 to 5 seconds, or it just compounds into less, you can't even move. Let's just put it that way. If you get stunned in this game, the amount of burst damage, like, you're just deleted off the map. It's just ridiculous, and I think that's another big contributor to people's rage inside of them building up. So basically, I think all of these things combined kind of led to League being where it's at today, and where it's kind of a toxic community. Let's just say it like it is. But I do think there are plenty of people out there who are trying to help you come back from your toxic ways and trying to bring positive vibes to the game, and I strive to be that person as much as possible and kind of stay away from the caps type in the chat, if you know what I'm saying. So I really wonder what Dota is like and what that community is like, or Heroes of the Storm. I'm just curious, kind of. But I want to know what you guys think about League of Legends. Do you love the game? Do you hate it? Or do you prefer other MOBAs out there? I also am into the third-person MOBA genre, so I'm pretty excited right now for kind of the Paragon spiritual successors, core and predecessor right now. So we'll have to see how those games turn out. But I want you guys to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Maybe bring you guys more movies, TV, video game, and anime content. I have a couple of other videos coming up. One that's going to be a Game of Thrones episode recap. I plan on doing one for every episode of Season 8. That will be some fun on this channel here. Also, I've got a video about what it's really like to be a Division I football player coming out soon, so you guys should check that out. I've also started streaming on Twitch recently, so you guys should check me out there. Media Master Menard, no spaces. We like to have a good time over there. I'm also going to leave a link to my Twitter down in the description below so you can find out when I post a new video. And until then, this is Master Menard, signing off.
Now look at the top, I'm going crazy, who wearing the crown? Scootly bop, doodly bolly, doodly down.